right, as I close in here, I'm going to take you through a very shocking development coming in from Bengaluru, another murder that was reported. But what we see here in Mangaluru, Karnataka's Mangaluru, is rivalry, retaliation, repeat. Another young life that's butchered in Mangaluru's never-ending cycle of hate. 42-year-old Abdul Rahiman was hacked to death in Bantwal. Another youth seriously injured during that attack. He was in fact attacked with swords by a gang of 15 members, all now booked for murder. But this wasn't an isolated crime here. It's part of a chilling pattern. Just weeks ago, rowdy sheeter Suhas Shetty was murdered. He in turn had been accused of killing Mohammad Fazil back in 2022. Fazil basically was murdered as revenge for killing a BJP youth leader, Praveen Nettaru, who was murdered at the peak of the hijab controversy. So we're looking at the cycle of murders here. All these murders related to religion and vengeance and enemy between one another. Basically, one common thread across these murders is communal vengeance masquerading as justice. Small-time gangsters, fringe right-wing groups, radical Islamist links, each strike setting off another one. Mangaluru is now bleeding yet again, and this is far from new. Coastal Karnataka has seen this fire before. In fact, it's called as a communal hotbed, flaring up in bursts, only to simmer back underground until the next provocation comes by. This time, the state has formed an anti-communal task force headed by DIG rank officer, but is that really enough to break this cycle? Is Mangaluru doomed now to be a battleground where retaliation is the only language left? Let me quickly bring in B.K. Hariprasad, who's Mangaluru in charge. He's in fact been a former MP. He's a predominant leader in Karnataka who takes care of affairs of Mangaluru as part of the Congress government. Thanks very much, sir, for joining us. A quick take on what's happening in Mangaluru and where's the end? We're shocked to see this cycle of violence.
Well, a small correction, I'm not in charge of Mangalore. As far as Mangalore is concerned, it's been under the turmoil of these communal forces for almost about 18 years now. After BJP came into power in 2008, series of murders have taken place. It is somewhere it is connected with the communal issues, and sometimes it is revenge, sometimes it is retaliation also. And it is exactly the communal alone, because one, Praveen Nettaru, way back in 2016, 2011 and 12, he was killed in Udupi district by a Hindu Jagan, because he was a Mandal president, BJP Mandal president, Praveen Nettaru. He was murdered by a Hindu Jagan Samiti. It is sometimes don't talk to people who are, getting empowered or they are flourishing in their own way. Of this revenge playing, the hatred, everything is mixed in the coastal area. And as far as the recent killings are, as you rightly pointed out, it's a retaliation and a revenge killing between the two groups. And as you rightly pointed out, the rowdy sheeter was not only a case of Mr. Fazil, another Dalit murdered. He was in two murder cases. And Bharatiya Janata Party, he is a member of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and all glorify these incidents. That's where things are getting worse. And whoever has been killed or goes to jail is being protected by the Bharatiya Janata Party. When they get
right, sir. Sir, if I could ask you, what's the solution here? It's scary. I come from Mangaluru myself, and it's very tragic to see the beautiful coastal town, the coastal region, Dakshina Kannada, Mangaluru, known for its warmth. Otherwise, it's beautiful locales, people, and just an absolute stunner of a location in Karnataka turn into this communal hotbed. What is the Congress government doing to ensure law and order?
Well, solution is the government. There were some provocative statements by these Janata Party leaders. Without any hesitation, they should book them under the serious act of the law. Because Supreme Court has clearly said that any provocative statement by anybody, suo motu, the FIR has to be filed by the station officer. But no such action has been taken place. Police should act under the law only. So nothing else. It will come to statements, these things keep on going on.
Thank you very much, P.K. Hari Prasad, for joining us with your views on that. Right, let me quickly bring in Bhaskar Rao, who's been the former police commissioner of Bengaluru. He's also currently with the BJP. Bhaskar Rao, as a police commissioner, I'd ask you, former cop, what's really happening in Mangaluru? Is there a fix to this? I understand you're also from Mangaluru itself. This communal hate and this cycle of violence that's never ending, and political parties involved, fringe groups involved. You have cutter people, if I can use that word, cutter people who come from that area on both ends. Where's the stop? There's no deterrence for them.
Now, Mangalore, as you know, is an extremely prosperous and a place of intelligent people. It is a microscopic minority of people from both communities who are indulging in this kind of violence, and the cycle of violence is continuing. But the government should not show its helplessness. What is unfortunately happening is people are making irresponsible statements, fueling more and more amount of violence. That should stop. If the Chief Minister and the Home Minister come to Mangalore, call a meeting of all the stakeholders and ensure two things: absolute control over law and order and complete development. Unfortunately, lot of violence is going from Kerala inside Karnataka through Mangalore, Kasaragod, etc. Because in Kerala, there has been a history of violence between the RSS and the communists over there. There is such a violence going on against the minority Hindu population, which is getting reflected inside and spilling over into Karnataka. So instead of making any kind of irresponsible comments over there, or irresponsible statement from all sides, if you want lasting peace to take place in Mangalore, we have to see that law and order is strictly
Neighboring
maintained
state is
and
not right.
piecemeal.
Law and order should be a state subject. Blaming the neighboring state, saying it's spilling over from there. Mangaluru itself has its own fringe groups. We know what the Bajrang Dal has also done. Moral policing, slamming pubs, chasing out people, harassing youngsters.
Nabila, wait, listen to me. Listen to me. Stringent law and order has to be made on both sides, whether it is Hindus or Muslims. And then development has to be carried out. Nobody is today investing any money in Mangalore because people are scared of doing so over there. If it is done so, Mangalore will 100% become a very peaceful place over here. And this kind of irresponsible statements by people in power should stop. Now that there is a government in power with 136 seats, if they want to do it, it can be stopped. But they should not play with the emotions of people and allow violence to take over and keep issuing irresponsible statements. It can be stopped, provided there is some kind of a seriousness of the part of the Chief Minister and Home Minister to bring it down. I clearly remember, even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when Mr. Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister, there was violence in Bangalore, and he used to say in police officers meeting, Karavali Katakata, Karavali Dagadaga. So, if he himself is aware of that, he should be serious and bring it down by personal commitment. Now, policing, but day-to-day policing is now out of control over there, because police can do day-to-day housekeeping of law and order. But this problem has now gone beyond the level of police. There has to be a political solution and a social solution to bridge and bring about some kind of an amicability between both communities. It becomes very, very sour.
Right, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate your time, as I'm short on time here.